Welcome to this video on OpenText Filer, in which we'll cover NetFolder sharing, which is one of the features that you get with Filer Advanced. My name's Robin Redgrave. I'm a solutions consultant based out of the UK. Let's just go into Filer, and something we need to do first for NetFolder sharing is just check that it's enabled. So I'm logged in here as a user but with administration privileges. So if I just go into the administration console and we go and look at the net folders, let's just take the sales one and go to rights. If I take this group, sales share external, and I just need to ensure that the option to share folders in that net folder is enabled. So if I do that, let's do the same with this group, which has rights to share internally, and that already has the right to share folders there. So I'll just say OK to that and OK. So that's all that needs to be done from the administrative side on a folder. Of course, on the global share settings, the users need to have the rights to share internally or externally. There's no rights in here to share a folder, by the way. That's only on the net folder side you can give that right. So let's just show you how that works. If I just go into that sales folder, for instance, I've got this folder I've set up already. So when I try to share a folder, Filer will look at the file system and see if there are any files or subfolders underneath that folder which I don't have full rights to. So for instance, I might only have view rights to a folder, in which case it will only let me share a folder with view rights. If I have a subfolder that I don't even have rights to, then it won't let me share that folder at all. So it's doing a check before I share that folder structure that I actually have rights in the folder, and gives me the rights for view, edit and contribute based on what rights I've got there. So if I take this folder here, for instance, and I go to share, you can see I've got options to assign edit rights, view rights, or contributor rights. So contributor rights gives users access to put files in the folder and indeed delete files in there as well. However, if I go for a folder where I've only got read-only rights, I actually have read-write access at this point. You can see here I've got edit rights there, but in this folder I haven't got the edit rights there. So if I take that read-only, even though the folder itself and the contents I do have read-write access to, but to a subfolder I don't, if I try and share that here, you'll notice that I've only got view rights to share that folder. And similarly, if I look at this folder, there's a subfolder in here I don't have rights to see, even though at this point I can edit and view files. If I go up and try and share that folder, what will happen here is I don't have rights to share that. So you can see there how NetFolder sharing works. So I can share a folder that's a subfolder of a net folder with an internal or external user, depending on what rights I have to the file system and whether I have share rights to the net folder itself. Just one last thing to mention here is that if you want to share the root of the net folder, so you can see here, even though I've got rights to share subfolders, I can't share the root of the net folder. But if you do want to share the root of the net folder, then there's a setting you need to put in SSF-ext properties, which is allow.root.level.nf.share equals true. And then that will enable the option here for me to share the root of the net folder. Thank you for listening to this video. I hope you found it useful.